News begins right now with a breaking news alert.
And breaking now at 4, a big scare at Ben Taub Hospital after reports of a shooting. Patients evacuated, others forced to take shelter while police went inside.
Sky 2 live over the hospital at the Texas Medical Center. Plenty of police presence still on the scene.
The good news is that police say nobody was shot in this situation. Good afternoon. Thank you for joining us for our extended coverage of this situation. I'm Sarah Donchie.
And I'm Keith Garvin. We've been following the situation at Ben Taub Hospital for the past couple of hours, and we were the first to bring you breaking coverage on air. And now we have team coverage on what police, witnesses, and patients are saying.
We want to begin with our Phil Archer, who was one of the first reporters on the scene. Phil?
Yeah, we're standing back here behind the emergency room, I should say, I guess, right outside the emergency room. You can see all the SWAT officers and all the patrol officers. They are all coming out of the hospital now. Police Chief Art Acevedo just left us, said that they have made their secondary search. That's after sending the SWAT officers all the way through the building without finding a suspect or any sign of a shooting. They then made a secondary search. They finished that, and the hospital is now being returned to the doctors and the nurses and the patients. They're going to be taking people. You can see employees and patients going back in now. This began, let me just recap a little bit. This began about 2 hours ago when they received, the chief says, multiple reports of shots being fired, and they also, some witnesses also heard someone saying, drop the gun, drop the gun. This is what the chief said. If we've got that clip queued up, let's listen to him right now.
It's important for people to realize that there were multiple reports from this location of shots being fired and a white male, unknown age, bald, being described as a suspect. We have not found a suspect, and we have not found evidence of an actual active shooter.
Yeah, all of that not for lack of trying. As I said, they've been here for hours now combing this hospital building, and the last round they went through with dogs. No sign, as the chief said, of a suspect or a weapon or even a sign that there was a shooting. That originally reported on the second floor in the eye, ear, nose, and throat department. And I have to say, we've talked to a number of people here while we've been here this afternoon, a number of them stationed there, working there. So far, no one telling us that they heard anything. The code white went out over the loudspeaker here, which is the notification to employees that there's an active shooter reported in the building. That immediately locked down the hospital. Many of those people locked in their offices for 30 minutes to an hour or more before they were released and brought out. So at this point, multiple reports of a shooter in Ben Taub Hospital, but so far unconfirmed. Police unable to find evidence of a shooter or of shots being fired. Back to you.
All right, Phil, thank you. And witnesses who saw the heavy police presence up close are now talking about the chaotic scene. Sion Rhodes is joining us live now. And Sion, she actually has an interview right now with a physician with the SWAT team.
Worse if we had bad weather, right? So it was a beautiful day today. That made it a little bit easier.
And as the facts go, this is probably the way you want this to end.
This is exactly the way we want it to end. I'm sure PD will get the rest of the story and get it final. But from a medical standpoint, we've got no injured patients. The patients who got moved appear to have tolerated it quite well. This did go off pretty good, yeah.
So your physician talked to me about how this went from that standpoint, how hard this was today.
Well, it's really, obviously it's difficult in that, people are in there working in the ER, they're working, and then all of a sudden the reports come that there's somebody in the building, with a gun, and that they're firing the gun. And so the first thing that happens is you have to control the natural panic, which people in emergency medicine do all the time. That's our job, is to function under stress. And so they did that, and there is a plan. They evacuated folks. Law enforcement was notified. EMS was notified. The fire department was notified. Everybody responded. And like I said, we've done these active shooter drills in both small and large buildings, and so it went really pretty much according to plan. Yeah.
Were any patients taken to other hospitals, or will they be brought over here? And also, when are y'all going to start accepting patients here again?
Well, so I'm not with the hospital. I'm not speaking for the hospital. So my understanding is that a couple patients did get moved over to some other hospitals. Whether they'll stay there or come back, I really can't begin to speculate. So, okay. Hey, guys, I'm really a little bit out of my lane here because I'm not with the hospital.
All right, so we've been talking to a person who is with Houston SWAT. He's also a physician. He just came out of the hospital, so we wanted to run over and get his perspective. But talk about what he was saying, that there were people who came here just coming to the ER for whatever was ailing them at the time and ended up being in the middle of this situation, and that threw this entire situation for a loop. We talked to some people who were in the ER at the time. I want you to listen now to what they had to say. Okay, so one man we talked to had brought in, he had a cut on his arm, and he was completely shocked when he heard that there was an active shooter possible situation. He and his girlfriend ran outside, and that's where they had been until they just got the all clear. People going back inside the hospital now. Some of those people being treated at a large HFD van inside, being triaged there. The more serious patients, I'm told about 5. Most critical, we're taken to Memorial Hermann. So the work of saving lives and helping people continued here at Ben Taub Hospital in the middle of this very stressful situation, guys.
All right, some insight on just how chaotic it was for so many people. Sion, thank you. The patients who were at the hospital when this all happened are also speaking out.
Yeah, and there were a number of them who were affected by all of this. Jonathan Martinez continues our team coverage with what they had to say to him. Jonathan?
Yeah, guys, even at this hour, there are hundreds of people still outside of Ben Taub Hospital. But however, we are still starting to see them file in a calm fashion as that hospital is once again reopened. A bit earlier, take a look overhead from Sky 2. It was much opposite the case after several reports of shots were fired inside the hospital, leading to a pretty chaotic scene as a lot of people started to evacuate. As everything was unfolding, there were several patients who made it out, but there were also others who were not able to. We talked with Paul McRae, who was one such patient who was there just for a checkup. He walked us through exactly what happened next when things got pretty tense.
And there was an announcement came over the intercom, and I wasn't listening to the announcement, but I heard it. But the nurse heard it, and she got very agitated. She was looking for a place to hide. When we were moved to the 3rd floor, and then the police came up and cleared that floor, and there were, I'm not too concerned because there are a lot of police here.
And Paul McRae there talking with us by phone. Certainly a scary situation nonetheless. Back out here live, the hospital once again open, resuming normal operations at this point. However, the investigation remains ongoing. We can tell you that the police presence is starting to thin out, but certainly a sight to see as the police chief says they operated in the manner that they had to. We are reporting live from Ben Taub. I'm Jonathan Martinez, KPRC, Channel 2 News.
All right, Jonathan, thank you. And we are continuing to follow this breaking story on air and online. You can watch images from the scene by going to our website, click2houston.com.